everyone, my name is Daoni. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for sticking it out and going on this journey with me.
24 seconds, yeah, you better not stop. You got 24 seconds, can you beat the shot? What you waiting on, little daddy? I ain't got that much time. You seem anxious, you seem mad.
We're going to do things a little different. We do have a special guest, as you can see. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a moment. But I just wanted to start off by saying we're here for a rebrand. We're here for a refresh. We're here to do things the right way this go around. So again, thank you. And I look forward to see you soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and welcome. Now, like I said, we have a special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Teresa. I am Daoni's mother. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Your social media tags?
Instagram is thegirl_TC and TikTok is thegirlTC.
Great. So in today's video, I just wanted to get some questions answered from my mom. I came across some questions that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to hear her response from, but I decided to record it because I feel like this would be something good to have for memories later down the line, like everything else. So throughout the questions, they're just questions, I guess, based off of her life in a sense, but also based off of her having kids. So to start off, the first question is, what is your happiest moment with us? So before she answered the question, just want a little background. I am the middle child. I do have two sisters, so altogether she has 3 kids. So the question is, what is your happiest moment with us? You could do each of us, like individual, or all of us together.
Oh, there's so many for us to do each individually, but I believe, in spite of, the happiest moments were actually giving birth to y'all, and knowing that all of you were girls. Because I really didn't want any boys. Because even from that era up until this era, it's just so hard out here for boys, our black boys. So I didn't want any boys at all.
That's fair. If you could remember, being as though we are all so much older now, how was your first year of motherhood for each of us individually? Because as time went on, it got a little bit more, I guess you could say, knowledgeable, because we each are separated in age, so I guess you learned more as time went on.
So all of y'all is pretty much 4.5 to 5 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like each birth was different per se, as far as going into motherhood, the beginning of motherhood, which I was actually coming out of high school into motherhood, versus you. I had motherhood particularly down pat, far as with the basics, but it was like trying to adjust to the world of that 5-year difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the last one, Octavia, that was even more difference. And as y'all always say, I got softer by the time it came to her.
Absolutely.
But in a scenario, it was, I would say, a lot easier, is because I actually raised her with her father.
Okay.
So, like, going from being a single mother with you two, it became a little easier.
Just put it out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I'm being real right now.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so this is kind of like a juicy question. So, is there anything in our family's history that you feel like you've kept a secret?
Within?
Mm-hmm.
Like overall, or just amongst us?
I guess you could say amongst us, since it's just...
Well, I'm not going to go into as far as in depth about it, but yeah, I kept a lot of secrets.
That's the purpose.
Because in our era, like, the kids wasn't supposed to know certain things at the end of the day. Now, I would change that at that point.
Okay.
Now is because even though we may think that it's a secret, and if you know, then it actually becomes rebellious at the end of the day, and depending on what that secret is. But yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so with us all being of age now, is there a secret that you feel like you could tell us now that you've kept a secret? The whole purpose is to say what the secret is that you feel like you kept from us. There we go.
That I ain't putting out there.
What? Okay, so that's fair, understandable, because I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't want to know a secret right now on camera either anyway, so I respect that. So, on the other hand, going off that, why did you feel like you had to keep it a secret, or why did you keep it a secret?
Protection. For y'all, at the end of the day. Like, you as my daughter, and I'm quite sure the other two would agree, I am the biggest protector when it comes to y'all, by any means necessary. Sometimes it's a gift and a curse, but it is what it is.
Okay, that's fair. So I'm gonna change them around in like a different order. Save the best for last, of course. But the next question would be, what do you want or wish most for your kids?
Happiness. Genuine happiness. Rather, for us, all around the board. And that's life, love, career-wise, just genuine happiness.
I like that. Now, when you say happiness, like you said, as far as career, life, love, each individual, like, we all have our own personalities. We all have our own, I guess you could say, thing about us. So, a little bit more in depth, what is something that you, I guess you could say, recommend per person?
Being real to yourself.
Okay.
Once you're real to yourself, you don't have to portray what the world wants you to be, or what you think that the world wants you to be.
Okay.
To just always genuinely be yourself. We become a substance of our own lies at most times, believe in our own lies. And when you start to do that, it makes it harder for you to live. It's because now you're actually trying to live the lie versus who you are versus the world. Makes it so much harder. So when I say genuinely happy, it starts from within you. You don't look for no one to make you happy. You don't look for no job if it's not the job that you want to make you happy. You don't look for a person to make you happy. Genuinely happy within yourself first.
I like that. Thank you. Okay, the next question I have, what has been the best and worst part about getting older?
Y'all becoming adults.
Explain.
It was so much easier, like, when you were children. Like, y'all really were good girls. I can honestly say y'all were good girls. Like, y'all had y'all faults, but they wasn't, oh my God, I need a minute. Or, I can't believe, like, it wasn't extreme faults. Now I think y'all stress me more now when you're out, who you're with, because the world just really has become just horrible. So I'm more stressed when y'all out, and the one thing I can honestly say with all of y'all, even though you're adults, like, when you're out, you let me know. Now I have the iPhone, which they died for me to get. So as far as the locations and just letting me know that they're safe, and letting me know when they made it in, even if I wake up to the text or whatever. But yeah, I think more or less of you actually becoming adults more than anything.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Whereas though I have to, like, stand back versus when you were kids, I was on the
On
forefront.
top of everything.
Yeah, so it's like now I have to basically stand back and allow.
So do you consider that the best and the worst? Like, I guess you could say
Bittersweet?
Bittersweet, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, overall, I do trust your judgment. I think it's just to the point of I'm not there as I've always been when you were kids.
Yeah.
So it's basically trying to leverage that and just standing on faith that God continues to cover y'all.
I like that. Thank you. What's one thing, I guess you could say, what's one thing you want me / my sisters to always remember after you're gone? Have you ever thought about something like that?
I have. That y'all sisters. And to remember that y'all was brought up with no separation. I don't believe
No, I'm about to cry
I
already.
know. Only because you know that hits home. And it hits in a lot of homes. But I don't ever want y'all to feel that y'all against one another. Because at the end of the day, you have your ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you know they're going to genuinely have your heart the same way I did.
Now, going off that, and I find it like a little interesting because I've always wanted to ask you, with us all being girls and having, like, me having sisters, how's it watching us, even though I know you have, like, Michelle, my godmom and stuff like that, how is it watching us and you know you grew up, like, not having sisters?
So how is it?
Like, watching us, like you said, like, one thing you want us to always do is stick together, like, us being all girls and, like, just, like you said, all having each other, knowing that you have your sisters. How is it, how can I say this? What made you, I guess, create that thought and you didn't grow up with sisters? Like, if I'm asking that right.
Because
Like,
that's what was missing.
that you were missing, that's what I mean.
That's what was missing. So to have someone that has your best interest at heart no matter what. Not saying I grew up with two brothers and I was the baby, so basically it's a difference because it's like certain things I can't talk to my brothers about.
Right. Did you ever feel like you was missing something?
Yeah, and just to give you a little history, like my mom, she was old school.
Right.
So like when it came to boys and all of that, yeah, it just wasn't
The same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same as it is now. When it comes to y'all and your relationships,
Right.
y'all come to me, you know, and it's so or you go to each other. Sometimes y'all go to each other before y'all even come to me at the end of the day, just to get a feel of, because you look at it like each one of y'all have a part of me in you.
Right. Yeah.
So like you'll actually use each other and talk to each other for that support, to basically, even if it's going to the other two to get one advice and then get the other or whatever, or, you know, just in that scenario, but having that on hand is the best thing in the world, best feeling in the world, having it on hand. You have some people that deals with things by themselves. Not everybody is built for that. You know, so like to know that you have someone that genuinely, with no judgment, is big.
I like that. Yes.
It's
I
big.
agree. No, I agree. This is a little bit towards me and me only. What's the nicest thing I've ever done for you?
Ooh.
You could pull out the piece of paper if you need to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A lot. I'm trying to think of.
You can go down the list. We could be here for a while. Not that I'm counting or anything.
I think the biggest thing that I remembered the most that stuck out to me was when we went through the scenario of, not the scenario, the changes of you being in Philly and me and Octavia was in Harrisburg.
Okay.
You came here 11th grade.
11th grade, yeah.
Right? And that was the first time of us actually all being separated.
Right.
Even though Martea was already here in Philly, but of course Martea was older.
Right.
Was about to have the baby and everything. But you coming there in Philly and with my mom and basically showing responsibility and showing the due diligence of what you needed to do to hold up your end to keep me from stressing.
Absolutely.
And that, I think that was the biggest thing that really was like, she's going to be okay. Because it was like, I wasn't on top of you. And you did the damn thing. Like, you came, you worked, you did school, you took care of took care of my mom. You didn't put no stresses on my mom. You didn't run the street. So these are the things that you really could have done because I was in Harrisburg and you. So like to see that, I knew she's going to be okay. And I think that's our biggest thing as actually coming into our pre-adulthoods is knowing how to carry on the responsibilities and what we need to do pre-adulthood going into adulthood when our parents is not completely over us. So like for some it's actually going off to college. Like yours started early whereas though you were going, as a junior in high school, but most times it starts off when the kids leave for college.
Okay, I agree. Thank you. Lastly, save the best question for last.
Here we go.
We all know the answer, but just want everyone in the room to hear it. Who do you think who is your favorite daughter? Answer correctly. Are you hot? It's pretty chilly here if you ask me.
Yeah. Say no.
Don't spare nobody feelings.
No, I'm not sparing nobody feelings. I ain't want to do that. But I will say this, and I learned this from my big mom. There's never no favorite, right? We know basically individualize or what you bring to the table. That does not make you our favorite. We know how to individualize you and to understand to an extent of what you're capable of doing. So when I say I learned this from my grandmother, Big Mom, when she got sick, she basically gave each one of her children a responsibility because she knew that her children would carry those responsibilities
they could
out.
do what they were given to do.
They were given to them.
Right.
So therefore, she didn't have certain other expectations of them besides of what their responsibilities were. But I cannot and will not say who's my favorite. I know you individually of each one of y'all.
Right.
If it's something in particular that I need, I know which one is my go-to for that.
Okay.
But no, I would never. I love all of y'all unconditionally, flaws and all, no judgment ever. My tone may dictate different, but at the end of the day, you know me. So when that tone changes, it's not out of judgment, it's out of better. Do better at the end of the day.
Okay, well, she decided to spare feelings, so what can we say or do or anything. Unfortunately, I have my younger sister in the back right now, I guess, trying to prove something. But again, we all know who the favorite is. Would you like to come and talk?
No, I got my bonding on. When you say different responsibilities.
Oh, you have a question? She can do that? Say no. Go ahead. I'm only kidding. So, yes.
When you say we each have our own responsibilities, like how Big Mom gave that task to that person, what is each of our tasks?
That's only on an as needed basis.
That's a good question.
Yes,
I ain't
yes,
gonna lie.
it is. So, you last year, what your tasks were, right? Last year with me,
Yeah.
you completed it. Did I have doubts? No. Did I have doubts? Yes, I did. But you completed it, so that showed me basically at that
When
time
it's time to
frame
step up,
when it's time to step up, you exceedingly. Is that a word? Okay, did it. And like I didn't stress through my recovery, nothing. My mom, pop, taking care of nothing. You know what I mean? So like, if there's a time that I have to tap in to something that I don't think that you're capable of doing, then okay, that just goes to that extreme of, I know that this is when it comes time to it. I know she can do it. I know she can do, at the end of the day. So it's not a task in particular, because right now, by the grace of God,
She's still healthy.
I'm still healthy. I don't, but it comes as
it's
you see
needed.
the situation that I'm in now with your grandparents. That's when it comes. Basically, when our backs fill up, when your back fill up like it's against the wall, and you jump in and you genuinely do it. Because whatever the case may be. So, you go from financial to health-wise to what are some other things? Emotionally, mentally, physically. So it's a whole dynamics of different things. So, and that was basically like with Big Mom. Like she didn't put more pressure on one person. And that was the purpose of basically doing what she did and knowing that that particular child would carry those responsibilities out.
Okay.
Without making you feel overwhelmed, without her making them feel overwhelmed with one person doing everything. Anything else?
That's a good question. I mean, that's a good answer.
Okay, you're not in the video. All right.
3 girls. 3 girls.
Those were
Young ladies.
Those were my questions. You answered them actually really well. Going into this, I was reading the questions and I was like, I actually don't know. I don't have like a answer that I think you would answer with these questions. So that's what made me really want to like do this video, because I was really intrigued to see how you would answer these questions.
And considering that I didn't even know what the questions were.
That was why I didn't want you to know the questions, because I wanted it to come. I didn't want you to have time to sit and actually think about it. I wanted you to literally come from the heart, like actually just come in the moment.
Yeah, because you really wouldn't tell me.
Yeah. Nope. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you again for sticking with me on this journey. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all platforms, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks for having me.
What is up, YouTube? My name is Daoni. For you all that don't know, I am put it in a
I think I started something.